I don't think I want to have kids, and I think I'll be married multiple times because I don't think I can be in a relationship or in a marriage or be with one person. And it's not just for shaking the system or trying to prove a point. It's not just that. But then I just feel like I don't think I can be in love for that long.
Why marry them?
The thing is, I like the concept of marriage. I love the concept of partnership because I'm all about family. It's very tricky to say that, you might be in love with this person 20 years down the line.
Are you going to find someone who thinks like you? And that's one question. Mm-hmm. And are you going to be open to communicate this kind of values to the person and have the person comfortably say, oh yeah, I want this life with you as well?
So are you trying to say I should rather stay single than get married to be divorced?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Shattered Silence, a podcast that uncovers the untold stories of resilience, strength and personal triumph. I'm your host Linda, and today I have a phenomenal being who is going to dare to take life from an unconventional angle. You get to know what I mean. But first off, welcome, Daffe.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Do I give the people an introduction of who I am?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to do that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so everyone, my name is Daffe U. I like to use the U because for some reason I really don't like the pronunciation of my surname.
Okay.
But then who cares? My name is Daffe Umuofu. I am a presenter, actor, TV host. I like to regard myself as a filmmaker, and a lot of people call me a feminist, and I would say I would like to be a feminist, but then not to offend radical feminists out there who think like boys can be feminists. I'm going to say I'm not a feminist, but I'm all for equality. I like to fight for equality, but then we're not talking about activism today, so yeah.
Exactly. I like it when you introduce yourself as a TV host, because I actually met you the first time at a TV presenter audition, and that's actually why you're here, right? Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, I overheard this guy say something that literally made me do like this. Honestly, you would hear from my mouth, so I want you to repeat what I heard you say. Okay,
so when we were at the audition, mm-hmm. We had just finished, mm-hmm. and I was having a conversation with a couple of people that I met there too, because note that I came to the audition on my own. Yeah. So those people, I just met them. I knew like a bit of them before, just like two people from that group. But then I was, we're having a conversation, and then I'd mentioned that I don't think I want to have children. I don't think I want to have kids. And I think I'll be married multiple times because I don't think I can be in a relationship or in a marriage or be with one person. And I'm not saying be with one person like I want to be with multiple people. No, but I don't think I can, be in a relationship without falling out of love with the person for about 10 years. So, and I said I was going to die alone, single. Like I would spend my last days by myself.
So this was what I heard. And I'm like, I'm about to record this podcast series that talks about people's experiences, untold stories and lives and all whatnot. And I thought to myself, you must invite this guy. He has to come and explain to us. Because I remember asking you, are you ready to say this out loud, out there? And you're like, yeah, sure. Anytime, any day. I'm like, okay. So let's start from the beginning. Why do you think you cannot spend your life with one person? Why? Is this something you've tried? Have you been heartbroken?
How old am I?
So, exactly.
Thank you.
Why?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome.
The truth is, like Cora would say, Cora will be the dancer.
I know Cora.
Yeah, she had once.
Yeah.
Good. She had once. She said this in an interview. If I can't just create a shift in my people, and it's not just for shaking the system or trying to prove a point. It's not just that. But then I just feel like I don't think I can be in love for that long. So and honestly, I say this with, utmost honesty. I don't think love is enough to keep a marriage. But then love is necessary. So let's say we have everything. We have, finances checked. We have the partnership spirit. We're kind to each other. We're friends. We have a friendship. We have the care towards each other, but then there's no love because you can live with somebody and feel no romantic feelings for the person.
Why marry them?
The thing is, I like the concept of marriage. I love the concept of partnership because I'm all about family. Do you understand? I love the concept of partnership. And I'm not saying that, that's why when I use the word, I use my words very carefully. I say, I don't think. That's not saying I won't or I might not. I'm open to finding somebody or being in a situation where I would, be able to spend the rest of my life with one person. I don't mind. But I don't think, I've not got to that point where I believe that it is possible for me to be in love. Like some people get married and they fall out of love in the middle and then still go on and die together. Still stay in the marriage.
Oh, wow.
A lot of our parents were married for like all of their lives.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me that all of our parents were in love? Some were not even in love before they got married. They just had to get married. Do you understand? So when it comes to love, it's very tricky. It's very tricky to say that, you might be in love with this person 20 years down the line. It might get to the point where this marriage has to work because I don't want to raise broken children that think, our home was broken. So theirs have to be. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get you. But in trading this life path, are you going to find someone who thinks like you? And that's one question. And are you going to be open to communicate this kind of values to the person and have the person comfortably say, oh yeah, I want this life with you as well?
If somebody says they want this life with me as well, this life basically means I'm not going to be with this person.
Actually, let me say from the get-go, you say, okay, girl, we're going to get married for 3 years, and the first year we're going to divorce.
I can't say that because I don't know if by the first year I won't still be in love with this person.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying like it's going to be your words.
First of all, like when I have conversations with people, I let them know that, this is what, is going on in my mind. But then that doesn't take away the fact that I might not believe in it. It doesn't take away the fact that it might not happen. I'll just tell them, I don't think it's possible. I'm in love right now. We're doing everything. It's good. It's beautiful. But honestly, 20 years down the line, do you think it will still be the same? Would we have to start choosing our priorities and saying we have to make this work because of one reason that is not love? That would be a conversation. But then if love makes you do a lot of things. So if we're in love enough to see if it works for that long, because the rate of divorce in the country, and I think we're not being honest.
Well, you're going to be promoting this rate if you go through with your plans.
The thing is, okay, I'm not talking about it now.
Okay.
I've not gotten married now. Are people still not getting divorced? Is the rate not going up every single day?
So what would one?
I'm not joining the bandwagon. But what would one voice do to that? My voice would hike up the rate of divorce.
Because you're being intentional with your desire.
I'm intentional about myself, honey.
Why are you intentional with this particular thing?
As I said before, I think doesn't mean I might not believe in it along the line.
I understand, I think.
Yeah.
But you're communicating this thing in a public place, which means it's something you desire. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
The point is, I don't know, a lot of Nigerians, they like to, because, Nigerians are very peculiar people. You all like to pick whatever you want to pick from out of a conversation.
I'm not picking.
No, I'm not talking about you.
Okay. Can I understand what informed this decision? I asked this question before. What informed this decision of yours? Is it broken family? Is it what you're a creative? Is it that okay?
Yeah.
The way as a creative you want to be on the next creation or want to do the next big thing. Are you taking it into your personal life?
Funny
you want
thing,
to do the next big thing in your relationship?
Funny thing is, I've always been around people that every single married person that I've been around, I've all had successful marriages. My sister is in a very beautiful marriage, and I envision that kind of life for myself. Our marriage is so beautiful. My mom was married to my dad up until he passed. I've been around like people that have been successful at this marriage thing. So it's overwhelming enough to watch how much work people put in to make it work. It's just overwhelming to think about. And when it gets to a point where I cannot put in that much work anymore, that's why a lot of people are getting divorced, because if it's not working, leave. And that would always be a choice. That would always be an option for you to walk out of something if it's if it's becoming too much for you. If it's draining you physically, mentally, if it's just not working and you have tried to make it work. Because honestly, everybody marriage just gives you the sense of having grace. So when there's the first whatever, there's grace to keep it going. There's grace to let's try and make it work. But if you try the first time, the second time, the third time, it's not working, you do what? You get divorced. So I'm trying to open up that space so it doesn't get to that point where we want to divorce and then we keep trying to make it work, and then it's still not working. So I'm not saying go into a marriage thinking be divorced. If you go into marriage thinking that you want to be divorced with this person at this certain time, then there was no love initially. Because if you stay on that altar and say, want to spend our lives, I dedicate blah 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 and do the whole vows thing, and you have it at the back of your mind that I might divorce this person a few years ago, it really doesn't make sense. But then I have it, always make that option open. That if this is not working, because society, Nigerians, have you been in a conversation with your mom before where you're talking about a woman that is being domestically, abused by her husband, and then the first time they're telling her, stay for the children, stay, and you see people like that pushing through years of abuse, years of torture, all in the name of marriage, all in the name of keeping the home intact. People like that don't have choices. People like that don't have these choices open. It's not an option to them. I have option A, B, C. They don't have, it's a fill in the gap, whatever. And the fill in the gap, the only thing for them to feel there is, yes, I will, I do, yes. There's no. They don't have the grace for these things. So when I have the grace and the opportunity to be born in a generation that is challenging the norms, that is doing unconventional things, I want to be part of that generation and speak that people can have these choices and people can keep this option open to know that you don't have to live through torture. Because we've even gotten to a point where, okay, men are saying we will no longer beat our wives, right? But then they're emotionally abusing women. There's no respect to the women. A lot of women are going through these things every single day. So it's always good to keep the option open.
Keep the option open. But then I respect your opinion. Yeah, your desire, your open-mindedness, whatever you choose to call it, I respect it. But like I said, there was an episode here where I had to discuss with single people who they are at the right age to get married. They are at that age where society expects them to get married, but they are single. Okay, they're not saying, "Oh, because I'm single, I want to get married and and divorce." And they appreciate, they've embraced their singlehood and they are living through it and navigating life through it and keeping their sane as well. So I'm not trying to.
So are you trying to say I should rather stay single than get married to be divorced?
I won't tell you what to do, okay?
It's just an opinion.
I won't tell you, but if you ask me, you can be open-minded to other things.
But not divorce. Not divorce because divorce is bad. Divorce isn't good.
You said that the cases of divorce are in the increase, obviously. And here you are, even though you've logically tried to, prove it that, okay, it's for your mental health, you can't be somewhere that you're being choked and all of that. I understand all that.
Me personally, I'm very liberal. I might have really strong opinions, but I'm really liberal. So when I meet people like that tell me when they're getting into a marriage, they always say divorce is not an option. I love it. I love that decision for you. You know why?
I love it.
No, you've gotten to that point and you've got to that consciousness and self-awareness that this is what you want. And you're pushing through with it. And when you find somebody that believes in that with you, that just gives you an extra layer of, trying. But then you can't tell me you both agreed there's no divorce and you enter into a marriage and you guys are mistreating each other. There's no trust, there's no friendship, the marriage is in shambles, but you still have the conscious choice that it's no divorce.
No, I think that's where commitment is. You try to stay committed to do it right, basically.
Even if it's bad.
Is it gonna be bad?
The thing is, I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but I'm just saying, what if it is? Because a lot of us in Nigeria, I feel like most people here in Nigeria, we just choose to we allow our beliefs and our moral values, precede our decisions. If I'm making a decision, I'm making a decision based on the consciousness of what would I do in this situation? What's best for me? What works for me? I'm not making a decision based on what will people say, or based on what are people going to think? Is society cool with this? Do you know why? Because when I sleep at night, I'm sleeping with myself. I'm sleeping by myself. I'm waking up to myself. Do you understand? It is about me. So at the end of the day, do I feel good about it? What will I say to myself? That should be the question. And every single person has to get to that point where societal constraints does not hold you back from, doing your being you basically. So I'm not telling people to divorce. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying instead of trying to keep the rate of divorces down, let's keep the rate of bad marriages down. Instead of preaching that our kids get married, preach to them, let them know what marriage should be like. Our kids, no, I'm not old, sorry.
Right.
I'm not old, please. Instead of preaching to your kids,
younger generation,
why the younger generation, why they must get married. Preach to them what marriage should really be about. Tell them it's about love, it's about commitment, it's about kindness, it's about caring for each other. Love is not enough for marriage. Let them know that your husband has to treat you this way. You have to treat your husband this way. That's to the women. To the men, you have to treat your wife this way. Do you understand?
I get you.
So it's better for us to keep the rate. If the rate of bad marriages are down, we won't even have a problem with divorce.
So you're trying to say that, okay, in as much as you would like to, there's every chances that you will still, get married to just one person.
Yes, if I find the perfect thing, why not? But then, if I try at first, because there's always room to try again. If I try at first, it doesn't work. There's love everywhere.
This guy will like stay at show day, right?
No.
Okay, well, Daffe, good luck to you. Good luck to you and your plans and your desires, and I like it for you.
But then this is just a small traction of who I am, of my decisions, of what I want to do. There's so much more to life.
But that's the only one you wear at a public place.
No, that was because we were having a conversation around that. At first we're talking about kids, and I've always loved kids, even up until now. My sister's daughter is the love of my life. That girl is everything that I live for. Because I love children. I want to have my own kids. But then when I come into the realization of, having a child, because I literally watched my sister raise a daughter. Her daughter is 3 now. Shout out to Tiwa, I love you. My sister raised a daughter, and I saw how much, because my sister just recently moved to the UK, and while moving, they had to do ×2 of what they would have done if they didn't have a child. And I want so much more for my life. I was telling my mom literally that if I want to think of start having kids rather, I don't want to raise bad children. I don't want to raise, I'm not saying I'm going to try to bend my kids, bend them to what I think is right, but I don't just want to raise children that are not kind, children that don't have a relationship with me. So when I want to have kids, I want to make sure that, I have time to provide everything and, be there for my children. And then I want to travel the world. I want to do so much with my life. I have like a whole career ahead of me. I'm so ambitious. Do you want to tell me that I can get up and leave and just travel to another country without thinking, of course I have a child at home. I'm responsible for a human being. I have to make sure that child is okay while I'm away and all of that. That's so much. So why have a child now if you can do it comfortably later?
Oh, later.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you should anyways. I'm just...
Yeah, no, that was like another decision, another conversation that we were having. And then while we're talking about that, a lot of people were actually agreeing to that because we have so much, because our generation are people that dream big.
Yes.
We dream really big.
Yeah.
And, most times when it comes to, when a child comes into the mix, you have to dedicate your life to that child.
Yeah.
Because you're responsible for a human being. This person depends on you for everything. It's not even about money. If it was about money, it would have been good. This person depends on you. The emotional turmoil, the questions, everything. You have to be there. It's like when you miss a birthday or you miss a sports game, or you miss a recital in school, it's like torture for you. It gets to your it gets to your mind, and then you're like, this is torture. And you go, is it, have you missed something important? Have you missed an important part of the person's life? And you're thinking, overthinking, and overthinking it. But why don't you just do it when you have the time to do it? You have the chance to do it. You're comfortable. You're ready. You have everything.
But I don't think we can ever be comfortable. Like, we can't ever be comfort. Like, we can't just have it all. Yes,
it's relative. You know, having it all is relative.
Okay.
Let me tell you what comfort means to me. And this is the first time I'm saying this publicly. Comfort is me 10 years into my career deciding that, because I will retire early if I have the money and I have the means to, deciding that I'm moving to, you know, a small home. As a filmmaker, I would produce like 2-3 movies in a year. I won't work so much. Only when I'm producing, that's when I'm going to work. I've given myself that. I've worked so much in the past. I've given myself that grace to now do all of this. That's comfort to me. I'm not saying I have it all. I'm not saying I have $500 million in my account, but then I have the chance, the opportunity to relax and sit and be in one place. Because the kind of work that we do as creatives, you can't be in one place. You can't be in Nigeria and be a creative. You're going to be in one spot. You know, you would have to do so much. There's like a lot of hard work that goes into our industry.
I get you.
So having a child is, I'm not saying people are doing it as superhumans. I don't know how they're doing it, but then it's a lot.
Yeah, I understand that is your personal preference, and the way you've tried to analyze it is actually cool. But I personally want to look at it from the, you know, I can do more point of view. Yeah. So, but it's cool if this is your point of view.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Okay, it's funny how we are different in this world. Like
really?
I was really
like,
really
such different people.
Trust me, it was interesting to hear you say that, and that's why I'm like, I need to sit down with this guy and have a conversation with him. And what better way than still have a conversation with everybody else? All right. So thank you so much for doing me the honors of being here. So guys, with that, I draw the cut to this episode of Shadow Silence. Do well to subscribe.
Okay guys, subscribe to this channel. Make sure to share it with your friends and family. Trust me, it's a whole lot of content that we talked about, and this is going to get better and better. So don't forget to share, like, subscribe, tell everybody, because there's a new podcast in town and it's hot,
Sizzling hot. Till next time I come your way. Bye bye.